Let's be honest, investing can feel like the whole game is rigged, right? Like it's just for the Wall Street pros. But what if I told you that your biggest weakness, the fact that you're an amateur, is actually your greatest secret weapon? That's what we're going to dig into today using Peter Lynch's classic One Up on Wall Street to find that powerful, hidden edge you've already got. I mean, just read that. This idea from Peter Lynch. It completely flips everything you've ever been told right on its head. He's basically saying, hey, stop listening to the so-called experts. His claim is bold for sure that your real-world everyday experience is worth more than some fancy analyst's spreadsheet. Now, you might be thinking, how on earth can that be true? Well, let's find out. All right, so here's the plan. We're going to start by looking at why the pros are at a disadvantage. Then we'll dive into your untapped edge and where to find those amazing 10-bagger stocks. After that, we'll get practical with a simple checklist and finish up with the right mindset to play the long game. Okay, so first things first. To really get a grip on why you have an advantage, we've got to pull back the curtain on the professionals. And it turns out their biggest weakness isn't that they aren't smart. They are. It's the super rigid system that they're all trapped inside. Yeah, just look at this comparison. It's basically the professional's handcuffs versus your total freedom. A big shot fund manager, they're often stuck buying stocks from some pre-approved list. They have to wait for a whole committee of other analysts to agree with them. Lynch had a great name for this, street lag. They're forced to play it safe. But you answer to exactly one person, yourself. You can jump on a great idea, whether it's a huge company or a tiny one, the very moment you spot it. That is a massive, massive edge. So, okay, if the pros are all stuck in this Wall Street echo chamber, where does that leave you? Well, it leaves you right here in the real world. And that is exactly where Peter Lynch says your advantage is. His main message is so simple but so incredibly powerful. Invest in what you know. Seriously, your job, your hobbies, even your trips to the mall, those are your secret weapons. And the ultimate prize, the holy grail for using this edge, is finding what Lynch famously called a 10-bagger. What's a 10-bagger? It's a stock that goes up 10 times what you paid for it. We're talking about the kind of investment that can single-handedly turn an average portfolio into something legendary. It's the dream, right? It's what we're all hoping to find. Okay, so that leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If these 10-baggers are so amazing, where in the world do you actually find them? Well, according to Lynch, the answer is kind of shocking. You're probably walking right past them every single day. Yep, the next big thing isn't hidden away in some complex Wall Street algorithm. It's probably sitting on a shelf at the grocery store or being talked about at the water cooler in your own office. Just think about it for a second. If you work in, say, the auto industry, you're going to know which parts are flying off the shelves way before some analyst in a skyscraper in New York does. Or maybe you're a doctor. You see which new medicines are actually working for patients long before the official data ever hits a spreadsheet. Your daily life is this constant stream of top-notch, on-the-ground research that Wall Street would kill for, but they just don't have access to it. The classic story here is about legs pantyhose. I mean, Peter Lynch himself was a supposed expert in textiles, and he completely missed it. It was actually his wife, Carolyn, who noticed it. She saw women going crazy for this new product in the supermarket. She was the one with the edge. Her simple, real-world observation led Lynch to invest in Hanes, the company that owned legs, and, well, the stock became a massive, massive winner. A six-bagger, in fact. And this wasn't a one-off thing. It happened over and over again with brands that we all know and love. Lynch saw the huge potential in Dunkin' Donuts just because he was a customer and he loved their coffee. He invested in Taco Bell because he went there, ate the food, and was genuinely impressed. See? These weren't based on some genius-level financial models. They were just simple, powerful observations that literally anyone could have made. And just check out the kind of power we're talking about here. Back in 1976, you could walk into the Gap and buy 10 pairs of jeans for around $180. Now, imagine if you'd taken that same $180 and bought Gap stock instead. Just 11 years later, that little investment would have been worth more than $4,600. That is the incredible power of just spotting a hot trend at your local mall. Okay, but let's be super clear here. Spotting a popular product, that's just the starting point. Think of it as the spark. Lynch is very, very clear that you can't just stop there. You still have to do a little bit of homework to make sure that great idea is also a great investment. And the good news is he makes this research process incredibly easy to follow. He calls it the 2-minute drill. It's really just 4 quick steps. First, you got to categorize the stock. Is it a slow and steady giant, a fast grower, or maybe a turnaround story? Second, check the price. A really good rule of thumb is to see if its PE ratio is in the same ballpark as its growth rate. Third, take a quick peek at the financials. Does it have more cash than debt? That's always a fantastic sign. And finally, number 4, just confirm the story. Is the reason you got excited about this company in the first place still true? That's pretty much it. Simple, right? Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. This whole strategy is about patience. It's not about frantically buying and selling every day. In fact, Lynch constantly warned people not to try and predict what the market's going to do tomorrow or next week. The real goal here is to find great companies and then just hold on as their stories play out over years, not days. And honestly, this next part might be the most liberating idea in the entire book. You don't have to be perfect, not even close. Lynch says that if you pick, say, 10 stocks, and only 6 of them turn out to be winners, you can still get fantastic results. How is that possible? Well, think about it. The most you can lose on a stock is what you put in, right? But your potential gains, they are literally unlimited. Just one 10-bagger can easily wipe out the losses from all your bad picks and still put you way, way ahead of the game. And this quote from Lynch really just sums up the entire philosophy, doesn't it? 1 in the hand is worth 10 in the bush. That one tangible, understandable company that you've researched yourself, that's infinitely more valuable than chasing a dozen speculative hot tips about businesses you know absolutely nothing about. It all comes down to this. Focus on what you can actually see, touch, and understand. So, I'm going to leave you with a question to mull over. The next time you're at work, or in a store, or even just walking down the street, I want you to really look around. Pay attention, because your next great investment idea could be staring you right in the face. What potential 10-bagger have you already walked past today?